clubbed us for the International Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Business, Management and Pharmaceutical Technology. Now, we are entering in the first technical session of today's event, which is based on 3D printing, its impact on pharmacy. Till date, globally, pharmacists have been the driving force behind 3D printing in the pharmaceutical technology. 3D printing technologies can be combined with artificial intelligence for more benefits, as well as ensuring the quality and safety of final printing drug product. John McCarthy was an first American computer and cognitive scientist who developed the programming language family LIPS. He is known as the father of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can actually save lives and improve health around the world. It is a process of educating a computer model using a complex and large data sets. This concept could lead to a new era of digital pharmacy. Now, I would like to request Dr. Shalini Sharma, Director SDPC, and Dr. Anita Singh, HOD SDPC, to felicitate Dr. Dinesh Kumar Gupta. Sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Shalini Sharma, ma'am, for a welcome address.
Hello. Students, please maintain silence. Yes. A very good afternoon to the most august gathering I have ever seen. I am feeling extremely privileged and honored to welcome you all at the International Conference on the role of artificial intelligence in business, management, and pharmaceutical technology. I am feeling extremely delighted to share that we have received a very encouraging response. Faculty and students from all over India have joined us either in the offline mode or the online mode. And thanks for the enthusiasm and the trust you have bestowed on us. I will try to meet up the expectation. First and the foremost, I welcome our guest of today's session, Mr. Avikshit Sarasar, an expert in 3D printing, an author, and Atal Tinkering Lab mentor. Sir, thanks a lot for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time to at this topic. The sir on which the sir is going to speak is quite novel. Dear students and faculty, this 3D printing technology, it has an enormous role to play in the pharmaceutical, drug delivery, and biomedical application. It can be used to create the medicines that can be tailored according to the patient's therapeutic needs. For example, we can alter the dosage form, we can alter drug combination, and even drug release profile. Even we can alter the size, shape, flavor, texture. And the AI and the ML. And what's its role in 3D printing? Now, AI and ML, this is used to enhance the product quality we can optimize the design and process parameter based on the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Thank you, sir. We will wait for this session. I further welcome our session chair of poster presentation competition, Dr. Dinesh Gupta, sir, Dean, Saras College of Pharmacy. We had already worked as a colleague also. Thanks a lot, sir, for gracing the occasion and accepting our invitation. I welcome both of you on behalf of Sundardeep Pharmacy College and Sundardeep Group of Institution. Now, the source of motivation behind this conference is our honorable management. Our chairman, sir, Shri Mahendra Agarwal ji, vice chairman, sir, Shri Akhil Agarwal ji, and our respected chairman academic, sir. Because of their support, we are conducting this conference thanks to those people, these respected people in their absentia. Now, I heartily welcome our faculty and students from different colleges of UP NCR. Welcome you in this international conference. And last but not the least, I welcome my colleagues, my support system, our friends of Sundardeep Pharmacy College, Sundardeep College of Management and Technology. The topic we have chosen, I think it will we will be able to get the more insight into this in this 2 days international conference, and I will not take much of the time. And with these words, I would first I think authors sir का एक introduction तो बनता है, ठीक है? I will hand over the mic to Ms. Rishmita madam. Thank you. Welcome to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Sushmita Mishra, Associate Professor of Sundardeep Pharmacy College, feeling really honored and privileged to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Avishit Saras ji, and Session Chair, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Gupta ji. And it is a big opportunity for all of us to conducting international conference in Sundardeep Group of Institutions. I would like to introduce first Mr. Avishit Saras ji is a MSc, COO, author, ATL mentor, STEM, 3D printing evangelist, leader, thinker, coach. Mr. Avishit Saras went to Modern School, New Delhi. Thereafter, did his BSc from University of Bradford and his MSc from the University of Manchester. He is into 3D printing, wherein they engage the industry and academia for 3D printing job work, skilling, consulting, and the installations. He has trained educators, students, and managers at Indian School, Mascot, various DPSS, Pathways, IMA, Oxford University, press delivered keynotes and trained thousands of individuals. Avishit sir is also the first Asian author of a book on 3D printing published by Asia's largest IT books publishers, BPB Publications. He is also an ATL mentor at Niti Aayog and has been reported widely by both electronic and print media such as NewsX, Dainik Jagran, and Amar Ujala, etc. He has been associated with numerous social causes too. Ex-Secretary, Modern School, Old Student Association, and Honorable Secretary for Friends Colony Zone, Residents Welfare Association for the last 6 years. Please give him a big round of applause. Now, I would like to introduce our session chair, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Gupta. He is working as a dean and professor at Saras College of Pharmacy, Sarora, Bagpat, UP. Did his doctorate from the Local University, Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Did M.Pharm in Master of Pharmaceutical Sciences in Quality Assurance from Annamalai University. Bachelor's of Pharmaceutical Sciences from the Dr. K.N. Modi Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Modi Nagar, Ghaziabad. Dr. Dinesh Gupta is an Associate Editor of Journal of Scientific Research and Review, Managing Editor of Asian Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences, run by Science Park Society, Advisor of International Journal of Pharma Professional Research, Associate Editor of IJBTR, Reviewer of Pharma Research Journal, Editorial Member of VSRD, International Journal of Technical and Non-Technical. Involves in placement of pharmacy students in QA and QC production and sales. Dr. D.K. Gupta ji received Pharma Research Excellence Award by ITS Rishikesh, Award of Excellence Academic and Research awarded by IPGA Uttarakhand on the occasion of National Conference on Traditional and Modern Research in Science and Technology 2022. Thank you, sir. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you, sir, for coming here, and your presence is very valuable. Now, I would like to request Dr. Nitin Kumar, who is called our session chair, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Gupta ji, for venue of poster. Thank you, sir, for your presence here. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Avakshit Saras, our honorable guest of honor, for this knowledgeable session. Please give him a big round of applause. Sir, please continue your session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. ठीक है मीटिंग ज्वाइन नहीं हुई थी वही तो ज्वाइन मैडम ने ज्वाइन करी थी कविता मैम ने बंद कैसे हो गई रिज्वाइन कर लेते हैं मैं बताता हूँ मैडम ने भेजा 653-026 yes sir 2965-026-653-026 2966 जी ये SDGI आप को होस्ट भी थे इसमें हाँ सब कुछ बना वो शायद ट्रिप हो गया है नेटवर्क इशू होगा शायद नेटवर्क इशू का आ जाएगा को होस्ट कर दो क्या नाम है Important भी है नहीं Yeah. Yes. Can start. हाँ. Okay. Very good afternoon, everyone. Respected Chairman Sir, Dr. Sharma, and other faculty members present, and my dear students. It's my privilege. I'm Avikshit Saras to come before you and give this 2 bits of knowledge that I have on pharmacy, 3D printing, customized drug deliveries, about the industry perspective. So जितना मेरे को पता है मैं उतना आपसे शेयर कर रहा हूँ. I'm sure आपको भी काफी पता होगा इसके बारे में, और आप भी शेयर कीजिए. You can stop me anytime that you want and ask any question, seek any clarification, share your experience, inputs, because we live in a democratized world of knowledge now, thanks to Google. तो सब दूर सब कुछ पता है सबको कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या लेटेस्ट है, क्या हो चुका है और क्या फ्यूचर में घटित भी होगा. So that's how I would like you to be more participative, be more inquisitive. That's why we are here for. It's all because of that. Okay. Okay. Fine. Sorry, this is a little slow for some reason. So what's the future going to be? So that's the opening bit ki bhavishya mein kya hone ko hai, kya hone ja raha hai. So basically जो हमारी ड्रग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, क्या वो जो प्लेस ऑफ कंजम्पशन, जो मार्केट्स हैं, उसके पास आने वाली है? तो कुछ ये सवाल है जो मैं आपके सामने आपके समक्ष रख रहा हूं कि क्या वो सेम ड्रग्स जो हम बना रहे हैं, मेडिसिन जो हम बना रहे हैं, क्या वो उनको ट्रांसपोर्ट करने की हमको दरकार रहेगी? वुड वी नीड टू ट्रांसपोर्ट देम, वुड वी नीड टू स्टोर देम, एंड विल एक्चुअली पर्सनलाइज्ड कस्टमाइज्ड पेशेंट केयर टेक सेंटर स्टेज? सो ये कुछ सवाल है. अगर किसी के पास भी कुछ इनपुट्स हो, कोई जवाब देना चाहे इनके, यू आर फ्री टू डू दैट. आई मीन दिस जस्ट एन ओपनर टीजर that I want you to understand, because this forms the context of the rest of the presentation. ये हमारी बेसिक फाउंडेशन है जिसके ऊपर मैं आपको और डेवलप करूंगा. मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन के 2 भाग हैं, एक जो कस्टमाइज पर्सनलाइज्ड ड्रग डिलीवरी पे बात कर रहे हैं और दूसरे जो उसके चैलेंजेस भी हैं, जो एक्चुअल फिजिकल रियलिटीज हैं. I'll be sharing that also with you. So basically what is happening is that in our current system of and the approach, the manufacturing, the process, the ecosystem, we have something which is from manufacturing to transportation, storage, and then the consumption or marketing what happens. So this is like 3 stages that go through. Okay. However, currently what we are seeing, sorry, that's a bit cut off at the end. आपको शायद यहाँ से दिख नहीं रहा होगा. Okay, you have it there. So yeah, that's great. So it is manufacturing to directly leading to consumption. This is the new shift, the new paradigm change that we are seeing. Even in your labs, you will see how you can actually manufacture and consume. जो आप बना रहे हैं वो आप तुरंत उसको consume कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे एक 3D प्रिंटर भी है हॉल में जो मैं लेके आया हूँ. जो भी आप बनाना चाहें इसके ऊपर आप बना सकते हैं. Like I mean we are using thermoplastics here, but of course back in your lab you can use other materials more akin to pharma use and products. So we will see how it is changing. So truly, I mean, what's the future going to be? To actually the future has arrived. So this is the first 3D printed pill to talk about. I mean, diving straight into the topic now. It's called Spritum, made by a company called Aprecia Pharmaceuticals about 4-5 years back. How many of you are aware of this pill? Anybody here? जिन्होंने पहले इनको इसके बारे में सुना, पढ़ा, कहीं पे देखा? नहीं. Okay. So my sincere request, I mean, you're all budding pharmacists, you're all, budding people in your field who've taken up B Pharm or D Pharm, as the case may be, but you should research, you should see every day. Google का एक बहुत अच्छा है कि वो आपको हर हफ्ते या हर रोज आपके चुनिंदा टॉपिक पे आपको ज्ञान भेज सकता है. So that is actually customized and distilled knowledge. So I suggest you should register for that. And I also get that inputs on my field, on my subject. So just type, pharma and, or the keywords basically of pharmacy, and you should have these inputs that what's actually globally going on in your respective field. So it's very important for you to actually stand out from your peers. अभी बहुत सारे pharmacy के students हैं, maybe thousands of them in your district here who are studying, and everybody is competing for those handful of jobs. तो नौकरियां उतनी ही हैं. आप में से कुछ बहुत enterprising होंगे, वो जाएंगे कुछ अपना नया business शुरू करेंगे. But it's very important for you to actually get this knowledge. So on demand manufacturing I was talking about कि जो चाहिए जब चाहिए हमने तब उसका बनाया. ठीक है? Okay, I'm assuming you have the knowledge, you have the research capability, and you can create things like these, like this company did. So it's a shift from what we have called that mass manufacturing to customized and personalized manufacturing. जैसे मैम ने भी बात किया कि making pills, making drugs, making medicines which are more akin to our own body requirements, our geographic locations, gender, demographics, etc. So it's that kind of customization and personalization which is happening. Abhi jo big pharma companies, they make pills in millions or more than that for a broad spectrum use कि सबको उतना देना है. डॉक्टर भी जो है वो किसी को एज के अनुसार या कोई और पैरामीटर्स के अनुसार maybe 10 mg prescribe करेगा, किसी को 20 mg prescribe करेगा, so on and so forth. But this is completely customized and personalized manufacturing. So just for an example, I'm shared this picture. So anybody can guess where is this person, when the picture was taken? ये कहाँ पे था जब ये तस्वीर खींचा गया? Space, exactly. So he's an astronaut. He's made a zero gravity 3D printer, and this is actually his, this is this product that he's made, which is holding his in hand. Okay, so we actually are in this fourth industrial revolution, and all this artificial intelligence, all the new technologies I'm just going to share, everything is coming up in a very, very big way. Okay, और ये सब क्यों आ रहा है? Why it is coming? Why sir is talking about AI and ML in the mornings, in the opening sessions, and we hear so much on big data, on machine intelligence, 3D printing, drones. Suddenly, in the last 5 years, 10 years, it is coming up. So it's very simple. आपको ये समझना होगा कि जितनी भी industrial revolutions पहले की हुई हैं, okay, they are all to boost two things only, okay, which is improving our efficiency and improving our productivity. ये दोनों चीजें अगर हमारी नहीं हो रही हैं तो कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ है, right? So whether be the first industrial revolution which happened way back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, जब handloom से power loom आया, उसके बाद हम लोग घोड़ा गाड़ी और बैलगाड़ी से automobiles पे आए. That was the second industrial revolution. And then data processing started, electronics, computers came in the 70s, 60s, 70s. और अब जो है हमारा next level of that we are coming. So it's very important for students as well as teachers to actually be updated, be upright about these technologies which are shaping us in a very, very big way, and taking actually the world, from a storm. So this is how various fourth industrial revolution technologies are impacting globally, be it education or be it the industry. So academics, industry, both are being impacted by all these technologies, such as I've just mentioned. Of course, Internet of Things, AR, VR, ये सब आपने सुन रखा है, but इसका impact क्या हो रहा है आपके subject domain में? That is very important. So I'm kind of bridging the gap between 3D printing and pharma, but there could be other things of your interest also. Of course, artificial intelligence is a very big topic, and of course, it covers 3D printing also and the basic raw industry. So जो हमारी बेसिक इंडस्ट्रीज हैं वो तो रहेंगी ही वैसे, बी इट मे बी स्टील, पेट्रोलियम, फार्मा, यू नेम इट, टेक्सटाइल्स, बट उसके अंदर जो वैल्यू एडिशन हो रहा है, राइट, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंट दैट इज कमिंग आउट, हाउ अगेन प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड एफिशिएंसी इज गोइंग अप इन फार्मा by the use of all these technologies. It's what is more important. It's what makes you stand apart also from your peers, कि आप वो कैसे फ्यूचर में जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आप जाएं उसमें इम्पैक्ट कर सकते हैं. You can do a better job. You can, and if you do a better job, it'll be more validation for the society, because something that you are doing impacts the healthcare of all. I mean, your contribution, I would say, is almost not less than a doctor, right? Let's take a look at that. Okay, so in general, what we all want from technology, from fourth industrial revolution, you can see all these list of things, be it more designs, more options. अभी आज से 35 साल पहले केवल 2 गाड़ियां मार्केट में मिलती थी, Fiat, Ambassador, right? Now you have more than maybe 20 brands which is available, and more than 200 options in all those 20 brands which are there. So much of customization, so much of personalization which is happening, right? And the kind of colors and kind of feature that are there, for example, is humongous. So same when I relate to even our industry, pharma, it's the same, right? So you have a much more advanced system of healthcare, much more advanced ingredients, APIs, whatever you may say, which has actually impacted the population, which has actually increased also the lifespan, right? So 100 years back, the life expectancy in this country was about 40 to 45 years of age. Now it has gone up to 75 plus. So that's the kind of impact, technology has had over the last, you can say about 80, 100 years. And the quality of life has gone up for all of us. So simple is that, we want things which are easy to use, quick to produce. I made something right away in the last half an hour. It has made something. We'll see later on what the 3D printer has made, and something which is personalized and customized. Next, I would like to, sorry, this is a bit slow today. In healthcare, specifically now, what we want, okay, and there could be more things also. इससे ज़्यादा भी चीजें हो सकती हैं. It's all, this is my imagination, my creativity. That's why I could just put in 6. Maybe you have another 3, another 6, 7 to add. That we all want personalized and customized drug deliveries. Abhi, my body structure is different than yours. No, we no 2 individuals are the same, right? Maybe BMI is different, blood groups are different, demographics, of course, okay, gender, etc. So I really don't want to take any medicines. So I have a different philosophy. Or somebody says that I want to take 1 or 2 medicines only. The cost of healthcare should be low. Abhi kya hai ki kuch healthcare itna zyada mehenga hai, because of vested interests or because of research. That's a big question. But something which is quick to produce, typically even in pharma companies that you see, it takes a lot of years to research and make a drug. And then half of that time is, spent in marketing, in publicizing that drug. And by the time another research comes in and that particular salt becomes outdated, or there's a better salt to replace that. So something which is quick and something which the regulators also understand. So this is another very big challenge for regulators also. The first FDA approved pill that was, as I had written to you, Spritum, उसको भी रेगुलेटर्स को समझना पड़ा कि इसको कैसे हम अप्रूवल दें और कैसे जो है इसको हम मार्केट में लेके आए. So I'll actually share a video also of how it was made in about 5 minutes. So just giving a bit of credit, small history on 3D printing, invented by a Japanese scientist, inventor. He never patented it, So this was Dr. Hideo Kodama, and we should respect him for that. He gave this to the world, and then an American called Chuck Hull kind of patented it. He founded a company. He made his millions there. So अगर आप भी अपने रिसर्च में अपने लैब में कुछ ऐसी चीज इजाद करते हैं जो आप समझते हैं कि ठीक है, आपको पैसा चाहिए, आपको अपने आप को सस्टेन करना है, फीस अदा करनी है, you come from a humble background, you want to improve your family, yes, go ahead, patent it, make money. But if you are well settled, satisfied, do something what Hideo Kodama did, no patent, okay, just open source. So that's the other way of spreading your thing for the society. So in the last about 10 odd years, a lot of patents have expired. So आप 3D printing देख रहे हैं कि काफी आगे बढ़ गई है. 3D printing in pharma actually is a very, very nascent thing. So it's a very unique combination for anybody who's interested to write papers, anybody who want to do more research and further in this field, it could be a good ideal combo and fit for you also to make your mark, because it's a very, very competitive industry domain. So that's why, I just next 3-4 slides are just 3D printing, because many of you may not be aware. How many of you have heard of 3D printing before? Have a bit of knowledge? Just with a show of hands. Can we just, okay, 3, 5. Okay, that's a good number. That's fine. So abhi jo book definition hai, I'm just going through that. Dusra naam 3D printing ka is called additive manufacturing. So it's just a process where we are joining materials layer by layer. Okay. And we are making parts from 3-dimensional CAD data. So CAD is computer aided design. We have a short CAD session at the end, just to explain to you कि कैसे CAD से हम model वगैरह बनाते हैं. There are some 3D printed parts I actually got. That's, for example, a heart. So can you just show them around? So I'll just circulate the parts for you. You can have a look at them and just return them back to me also. Sorry. So that's some of the parts. So sir will just circulate them, and yeah, sorry. So that's it's also called additive manufacturing, because we are adding material layer upon layer from bottom to top and creating whatever we have to create. So some of these parts are from the field of pharma 3D. Some of them are other but you get a broad basic idea of how you can create. So it's all about your imagination, and since it's 3 dimensions, so it's all length, breadth and height, the 3 dimensions that are in play. And generally jo hum 2D printing karte hain, for example this card, that's a 2-dimensional length and breadth only. So 3D is all the 3 dimensions coming into play. Okay. So I will just briefly tell you about traditional prototyping, traditional how things were being created. या किसी भी designer, artist का requirement रहता तो वो अपने specifications spell out करता, वो एक CAD बनाता, हाथ का drawing भी बना सकता था, blueprint भी बनाता था, and then used to actually make a mold, create a die, and then if check the specifications before making the product. So it was all mass manufacturing, not 5, 10, 100 products could be made. So products were in thousands or lakhs which were produced. But abhi things have changed. Okay, so that's the onset of technology, and we don't need to invest all that die making and modeling. So this is just a bit of engineering. Otherwise, the rest is all all related to you. So we in a CAD design, in a CAD software, we create the design. We export what is a STL file. That's the technical bit of the file. जैसे आपका DOC file हुआ या PDF file हुआ, वो आप export करते हैं, send to your printer and it prints. So this is the STL file is the input of this printer, the 3D printer, and then it makes the G codes on its own, and you get the 3D print. So what you see in your hands are all 3D printed models. So that's the G codes which get created. So it's basically it slices whatever you have designed, whatever you have actually made, and then using a computer, using your idea, using a 3D printer, you get your product, you get it in your hand. So the traditional way of making things was a lot more complex. Okay. And it's much easier to make things through a 3D printer, much faster, much cheaper. You're not dependent on anybody's skill. And of course, the time taken is much less. So it's not like what cannot be made. Okay, you can make any and everything. So this is just, you know, I've shared this slide to you to just show you that you can you can make a lot. You can make from a car, from a plane. Okay, and you can make prosthetics. So that's the beauty of the technology, that you can make designs, you can make artworks, you can make pills, organs, buildings, edible things. So it's a complete ecosystem from, you know, one technology. And that's why I love 3D printing, and I've been in it for the last 8 years, that it gives you a flexibility to do a lot more. So let's watch a small video of Aprecia. And yeah, sound laptop का mic speaker on हो जाएगा, speaker on हो जाएगा, हाँ speaker on. से इसमें भी okay. Sorry, this is just loading right now. आपने ओपन किया? हाँ मैंने किया, तो उसको आगे रख के वीडियो ओपन कर टेबल के पॉइंट करने का. I think
Introducing zip dose technology, the first and only drug formulation.
ये ना
Platform to utilize 3D printing. This proprietary technology allows us.
So I'll just mute the audio bit of it and explain to you the zip dose technology, what we see here. So it's basically you got the formulation, okay? You got your salt, you've got your ingredients in place. So what this technology is doing, that it takes the help of 3D printing, and it actually puts the material one layer upon the other, and there is a binder. So you see that the layers are being added on a conveyor kind of a system, okay, being sprayed on top, and there is a binder which gets put. So the two layers are actually, so that's the binder which is put, जो उसको चिपका देता है दोनों layers को अपने आपस में. So उसके ऊपर फिर second layer, third layer आती चला. So there are multiple layers which get, and you make one homogeneous pill together. So this pill, it has actually, you know, the same, I mean, the जो basic है उसके ingredients हैं वो आप बताते हैं, आप direct करते हैं. So you can do a huge amount of dosage, maybe 1000 mg. You can do, and the best part is the last one, which is the pill बहुत जल्दी घुल जाती है पानी में. एक बार आपके मुंह में जब जाती है तो उसका जो एफिकेसी है वो कहीं ज्यादा है, वो पेट में जाके मतलब ये नहीं कि देर से होती है, तो उसका घुलने का शक्ति काफी ज्यादा है. So that's how they are, you know, trying to see it and portray it. Okay, so this is what was the key part, that, you know, what cannot be made. So I'll just shift from इसको हर बार चेंज करना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, okay. Any questions up till now? right? General applications on 3D printing. Yeah, please go ahead. जी. जी. Ma'am, I think this it's a bit of a technical question. You can answer it better. He's saying that जिनका metabolism rate ज़्यादा है, उनको would the 3D printed pill be contrary to its claim? Okay, I get your question. Now I get your question. So this is one example of a 3D printed pill जिसका जो dissolving rate है ज़्यादा है, right? And but there are some delayed drugs also which have a delayed release mechanism. Okay, if you and there is a something which is called an e-pill which can actually stay in your system for about a month and then dissolve. So I think your question will get answered. But just to answer it simply in one line कि आप control कर सकते हैं pill का dissolving उसका dissemination. So be rest assured. I mean, it's not that सारे ही 3D printed pills जल्दी dissolve हो जाते हैं. It's not like that. You have delayed drug release mechanisms also. Yeah, good question. Yeah. That's a nice one. So general applications on 3D printing that we've seen, and researched, it's great for R&D, it's great for artistic patterns, it's great for spare parts, customized parts, education, etc. So I'll just quickly cover these so that we can move forward. So brief comparison on the pharma industry, where we see 3D printing having a big impact when we are comparing conventional manufacturing to something, what can startups do in 3D printing? So typically startups are bootstrapped, less of finance, own funding, okay, shorter supply chains. Yeah, please go ahead. वो कैसे उसमें उसकी कंसंट्रेशन को इफेक्ट करे क्योंकि हमें 10 mg 20 mg की मैन्युफैक्चर करनी है
10 mg या 20 mg की एक टैबलेट बनानी है तो उसके लिए हम 3D प्रिंटिंग में कैसे इफेक्टिव रहेगी वो कि कैसे मैन्युफैक्चर करें
So it will totally depend on
आपने नॉर्मली जैसे अभी 3D प्रिंटिंग की विजुअलाइजेशन थी तो उसमें बेसिकली रीमॉडलिंग करते हैं पेजेस को ज्वाइन करके पेस्टिंग करके जिसकी वजह से 3D मॉडल प्रिपेयर्ड हो जाता है तो
आपका जो पिल रहेगा that will be as per your design. The ingredients will be as per your formulation, salts, APIs will be as per your design. So the 3D printing technology is just enabling you to manufacture that pill more efficiently. Okay, manufacture that pill in lesser quantities. So I will share a video of UCL London, how they are fabricating, how they are manufacturing the pill. So your question will get answered by that. So it's basically a process. जो चीज हम बड़ी फैक्ट्रियों में कर रहे हैं, अभी वही चीज हम अपनी labs में कर लें, वही चीज अपने small setup में करें. So this slide is also in that sense that where the normal pharma industry, like Ranbaxy and aapka Merck and other giants which are producing medicines, drugs in billions and millions of pieces, how you can do the same thing, how you can achieve that objective in your own lab, in your own ecosystem, which might not be as big as theirs. But yeah, it's a good question. You can actually make medicines now based on your own research, based on your own personal requirements, or based on 100 years back कंपाउंडर होता था, हर डॉक्टर के पास एक कंपाउंडर होता था जो डॉक्टर सॉल्ट लिखता था उसको वो बना के कंपाउंडर ही डिस्पेंस करता था मेडिसिन. आज का डेट का डॉक्टर आपको एक प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देता है और आप केमिस्ट से अपनी दवाइयां ले आते हैं. So that compounding thing, I mean, it's all coming back to where we started, but doing it in a more scientific manner. So we see conventional manufacturing having a very long supply chain, a long gestation period, as I already mentioned, in terms of, developing the drug, manufacturing it, and then distributing it. It's all very capital intensive. There's a lot of rigidity in the process. So यहाँ पे जो हमारे our small lab, our small ecosystem can actually develop the same thing much faster, can actually make the whole process much rigid and achieve a faster turnaround. In other words, we see that conventional manufacturing, when we are making the dies or the molds or the cast, you see a downward sloping curve कि आपका खर्चा जितना ज्यादा आप दवाइयां बनाते हैं उतना कम होता जाता है. But of course 3D printing, it's a little different. It's not the same. It's just a straight line. So if you make 1 pill, 10 pill, 100 pills, almost the cost will be the same. But yes, your ability, your flexibility to make customized and personalized drugs is far more. कि आपने जरा सा कुछ सॉल्ट में तब्दील किया, फेर बदल किया, and you get a different result. So that's what the beauty of this process is. So this is the same, for the epilepsy treatment. Just a bit of pictures I've shown of that video. I hope the video was clear. First is the powder being sprayed onto a conveyor-like system, then the binder being dropped, so the powder absorbs the binder, and then layer upon layer, the is added, and you get the medicine. So, yeah, sorry, this is moving a little fast. Okay. So pharma industry, of course, is taking up this in a big way. And yeah, coming directly to a small case study of children being treated in Holland. Multiple dosages, बच्चों को अगर कोई unfortunately खुदा ना खास्ता कोई ऐसी बीमारी है जिसमें कई सारी दवाइयां लेनी है, so उनके लिए भी दिक्कत है, पेरेंट्स के लिए भी दिक्कत है उनको एडमिनिस्टर करने के लिए. So you see, depending on the kids demographics, age, BMI, gender, etc., we are having such kind of medicines which can be given to them. And these are some of the pills being made by this company called Fabrics. So Medimaker is the name of a 3D printer. And I mean, it's not that the pills are some great looking, but yes, what's inside the pills is more important than the picture. So you can see different sizes, different shapes it can be made. So we will see different shapes in this video of Fabrics, which is there, which is again basically it's a startup in University College of London, and which is actually was incubated there and came up. So I mean, it will be great that some of you create also pharma 3D printing companies, and at Sundardeep they are incubated, and eventually you come up with a product such as this. Merck again is a very big pharma company. EOS is the largest 3D printing company in this world. So they actually collaborated to make tablets, which are again their powder. It's fused together, and they create products. So this is all actually happening, and again, as per the local needs. So it's all about customized and personalization, what I initially started with, and actually is happening in the industry. And then again, another pharma company called GSK collaborated with the University of Nottingham and created, a treatment. Spritum did for epilepsy. They've done it for Parkinson's. And of course, the technology that they are using is through inkjet printing and UV curing. So more or less, the idea of powder binding them together to make the product remains the same. But each one has their own uniqueness. So that's a little bit of tweaking that they do. So let me show you this video before I go ahead, so you can have a better understanding and a perspective.
might have the medicine go down. Rocket Healthcare is not exactly giving you the sugar. With our in vivo, we can offer you a
Maybe I think because of the live streaming it, and there is a bit of a so they're basically showing, I mean, the amount of medicines that are there and trying to simplify through the video that, how we can reduce the number of pill intakes and combine various medicines, various formulations, and put it in maybe 1 pill or 2 pill a day maximum. So that's the elderly taking multiple pills instead of just now taking it one. That's a bio 3D printer. So that's the G codes which are being made. That's the software, the 3D printer computer interface. The formulation being injected. Various APIs being combined. And in a petri dish, they create the pills. Again, different colors, shape, size, whatever you want, you can do that. So you see layer upon layer, material being added. So various sizes. Right. I'll just shift back to the slide now. Okay. So just to, you've seen a few videos, you have the broad basic idea of what we are doing. I mean, it's all about customized personalization, reducing complexities. So, why go in for hundreds of thousands or millions when you can do with a few? आपको stocks रखने का जरूरत नहीं है, जब चाहिए तब आपने बनाया. So some of these materials are very resource efficient in 3D printing that we are using. Some of the products that you have seen which are there are actually made out of recyclable material called PLA. Your go-to market is much faster. So आपने कुछ भी बनाया, you are an entrepreneur, you want to scale up, you can sell immediately, of course, with the proper permissions in place. And yeah, so decentralized manufacturing is you made it where you bought it where you've made it. There are a lot of 3D printing technologies which are there. Some of them that we have that you've seen are based on even the printer that we have here. It's called fused deposition modeling, FDM. So that is the basic key technology. Most entry level, basic, cheap, fast. Then you have the resin technology. So resin technology is not being used so much in pharma, but in other applications. Okay. So, but the third one, which is the selective laser sintering, and I'll show you the next video on SLS, is being used in pharma. So it's a technology by the EOS company that I talked about. So उन्होंने इसको इजाद किया था, and it's having a lot of industry applications, very high amount of precision, and the results are amazing. So yeah, again, to talk about a few technologies, which are there, inkjet 3D printing, what Merck and University of Nottingham, GSK and University of Nottingham was doing, laser-based writing, SLA, which is the resin-based one, SLS, which is the one from EOS, which we just discussed, and continuous layer interface. So जो कंपनी आती जाती है वो अपनी एक यूनिक टेक्नोलॉजी, अपना यूनिक पेटेंट लेके आती है जिससे उनके लिए एक वो डिफरेंशिएटिंग फैक्टर हो जाए. सो मोर और लेस एवरीबॉडी इज डूइंग द सेम जॉब. इवेंचुअली जब आप भी चूज करेंगे आपको किस तरह का 3D प्रिंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करना है अपनी एप्लीकेशन में, सो इट डिपेंड ऑन अ फ्यू फैक्टर्स, दैट व्हाट इज द एक्सेसिबिलिटी, what is the cost, what is the benefit. So that's how you make an intelligent selection. Then powder-based like SLS, PAM we'll discuss about more, which is pressure-assisted microsyringe. That's the most common form of bio 3D printing also, where you have seen even in the video by Rocket Healthcare that they had a pressure-assisted syringe, and there was a gel being spewed out, and layer upon layer it was and making the material. Okay, so various technologies over the years have had various kind of shares. So the most common, most dominant form has been, the PAM technology, or based on the FDM, PAM and FDM. So this is on top is what the FDM is also like. What we have the 3D printer here on your left. You've got a head, you've got a feeding mechanism, so the filament gets through from that. And there is an extrusion nozzle in this one also, where material comes out. So in the end, when we finish our one set of presentation, we can take a break, have a look at that, and then go on to the next presentation. So that's how the pills are also made. And in the pressure-assisted microsyringe technology, we have basically the syringes being fed with the formulations, and depending on when it is to be injected, it is injected, and the material is made, and the pill is made on the bed. Right, you can see in the center just below A that this is making the material. But yeah, so the same thing, the whole bed moves, and this one also comes to the center and deposits the material. So there's a binder which again combines the two of them, and you get the pill at the end. So FDM, of course, as I talked to you about, most entry-level basic technology. As we compare it to PAM, pressure-assisted microsyringes, PAM works much better. You have a higher suitability for a multi-drug. You can load up more. Then there's a particular temperature on which the FDM works. However, that's not the case for PAM. And you see that the resolution, the finishes is all better with this technology. A lot of materials are being used. It all depends. And I think this will answer this gentleman's question here also, कि कौन सा material कब use करें. So हर material की एक अपनी unique properties होती है. So ऐसा नहीं है कि एक material ही आप सारी दवाइयों में use कर सकते हैं. So as you see, I mean, some are more water soluble, some have immediate release, some are lesser, water solubility, controlled, delayed release. So it totally depends. One, what is the application? What is your end goal in mind? What kind of technology you are using? So not all materials may be used in FDM, not all materials may be used in pressure-assisted microsyringes. So in this 3D printer also, for example, we can use a certain amount of material. So this uses, for example, only PLA. In our normal, we use nylon, we use ABS, but those kind of materials are not utilized in this printer. So you have different hardware systems which can handle different materials. So some of the materials in FDM, peak Ultem, if you've heard of, they have a temperature of more than 350 degrees centigrade. They are used for implants, for example. So those having again, they are used in a much more higher efficiency 3D printer, where that kind of temperatures are to be attained. So all these parameters weigh in when you are deciding what to make, how to make. So from 3D printing, if I were to take you one step ahead, okay, that's 4-dimensional printing. So the time is the 4th dimension, okay, in which you have basically shape memory polymers, shape memory gels, which actually turn into your product at a later point in time. So they change shape, they change their properties post fabrication. So that's again a kind of a delayed release mechanism. And those things happen when we are exposing them to certain different environmental conditions and certain different factors, be it, maybe temperature, be it the light, water, etc. In pharma, to be more specific, and some of these things you might be aware of, drug delivery, of course, we'll talk about much more detail. But the 4th dimension in pharma, the 4th dimension in pharma plus 3D printing is, in terms of stents, splints, scaffolds that you see, then the TheraGripper cells that one can use. So these are all very futuristic applications, but yes, they are happening. Okay, it all depends on your need. It all depends on your environment, your circumstances. Yes, you can do that. So we've talked a lot about 3D printing, its applications. Okay, a few of these challenges, few of the realities which we can't ignore. Okay, which we need to understand to get to a point. So that's maybe a bit of a lot of written material, but I can't help it but to bring it to you for you to just a better understanding that as I've already spoken to you, that the physiochemical properties, whether it is safe for human consumption or not, because there have been disasters also. It's not that it has been a very smooth ride and everything is hunky dory. ऐसा नहीं है, कुछ गलतियां भी हुई हैं. अभी जैसे SLA टेक्नोलॉजी में ये एक पिल बना रहे थे जिसमें बार बार ये एक पर्टिकुलर केमिकल नहीं डिटेक्ट हो रहा था, राइट? सो इट वाज अगेन रिसर्च व्हाई इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. ऑलराइट, your dosing manner, your nozzle size, mechanism has to be proper, the flow has to be there. Otherwise, if there is any clogging, maybe you're losing out some material. आप 10 mg चाहते हैं बने और वो बनी 9.5 mg रहा है. So again, it's a challenge. Okay, there could be surface imperfections if you are wanting your product to be very high precision and quality. There could be stacking issues. Okay, and the material that you are using to deposit them, and maybe the drying time, because of different environmental conditions, you are not having a consistent environment in your lab, and so the drying could be delayed or enhanced the other way, could be there. Again, friability issues, and of course, because it's a growing technology, abhi isme काम इजाद हो ही रहा है. So it's not as if it is a very smooth ride, as I've told you. So there are limitations of products, of colors, surfaces, textures, etc. Okay, so we will take this later on. And yeah, any questions, any queries? So I'm actually at the end of the first presentation, and yeah, so we are all here to promote democratization of design and take things forward. So yeah, so those are a bit of references I've given from where we've collected the data. So so let's take a 2-minute short break. If you want to look at the 3D printer, we can see that. I've also got my water there, right? So it'll be good. Yeah, and I think we are on time right now. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, we'll take about an hour or so and do the second presentation. And so anybody who wants to have a look at the 3D printer, they can, step out and have a look.
Mike, Mike, sir.
They made some, we made 2 skulls, I guess. Yeah, so that was a quick one we did. So that was a quick thing we did. And so that's where the raw material is at the back. You can see, जैसे कि आपने उसमें भी देखा था. So that's the raw material. You can just, somebody can just hold it high. Everybody can. That's the wire filament which is going in. Okay, as you can see here. And it is fed into from this tube. ये tube से अंदर जाता है. And this is the head. और ये nozzle है जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था. और यहाँ पे वो मेल्ट होके जो भी आपने शेप डिसाइड किया है through the CAD software, it makes it. So that's how simple it is basically. And there are many materials. This is one flexible material which can use, okay, but not in this printer. In a different printer it was made. And let's just take this out. So that's the bed जिसके ऊपर ये बनता है. And we have all the files stored here. And we can just choose. So let me just choose something which is actually way below. And so we'll just take some time. Okay, so let's just make this small whistle. Yeah, so that's the bed. ये हमारे length, ये हमारा breadth, और ये हमारा height है. So this is, it actually goes down when it is making something. So that's how it goes. There's nothing very complex about it. It's a very simple mechanism. Main thing is the CAD designing. अभी 3D printer आपको बहुत मिल जाएंगे, कहीं से भी आप ले सकते हैं. You can invest in any 3D printer. But the main in knowledge and the key part of it is the design. So you should know the computer aided design. With that, you can create anything that you want. आपका basic premise उसी पे रहेगा. अभी जैसे आपको typing आता है, तो आप कुछ भी document print कर सकते हो, but आपको typing is the basic. So that's how the designing of this is the basic need and requirement. Any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? Right. So I think let's take our seats and continue with our presentation. You can take it. Yeah, no problem. So this is a 3D printer which we are using thermoplastics to make. अभी जैसे ये इसका input है, तो ऐसा ही एक bio 3D printer जैसे आपने देखा. I'll start with a video itself so you can understand. So your the raw material, your API goes here. Okay, so ये आपका जो input जाएगा, that will go into the 3D printer. It will deposit the part, deposit your API and create whatever shape. तो आपको skull का shape का दवाई चाहिए, skull का shape का मिल जाएगा. So this will be kind of your raw material will go in a bio 3D printer. This is not a bio 3D printer. It's a normal thermoplastic 3D printer. So that's why the result is a thermoplastic. Ji. The 3D printer is just started, and it is first is the 000 position. This is the XYZ axis, all at 000. So you can see on the display, everything is 000 here. So it is just starting to make the product. Next one, what we are trying to make. So the first few layers are important to see. जिससे वो उसकी जो addition है, उसकी जो binding है, वो proper हो जाए. अगर वो first layers bind नहीं करेगा, तो बाकी भी नहीं बना पाएंगे. Right, so it'll take about half an hour to make, and I think we can continue and we can come back to it once it is done. So there is no binder in this. So binder is there in the SLS technology. Yeah, this is FDM technology. So I'll just show how the binder is actually being used in a fabrics video. Ji.
Hello.
So yes, it is time consuming, but the same time that you invest in using a die or cast or mold, it is that. I mean, and also, so if in pharma you are making pills like of this size, so this can be made in about 1 minute or 2 minutes, and we are making actually a large product, like almost 10 times this size. So that is the thing. And plus it's cost effective कि आपको ये इसको बनाने के लिए कोई mold नहीं बनाना, ये आपने इसी के अंदर बना लिया. And I will also show you some examples of painless drug delivery systems that we made for a professor at GNIT Greater Noida. So I mean, all that research, all that help you can get from a 3D printer.
Hello.
Yes. Ji.
If there's no binder in this technology,
Hello.
there is no binder in this technology, then how the particles which are binding are connected to each other, or they remain attached to each other?
In FDM technology, okay, what happens is that, as I just spoke to somebody else, so your raw material is the wire filament, okay, which is coming in. So I'll just show you an example. So this is your wire filament which is coming. So the binder is there, in the SLS technology where the powder is there. So one layer of powder is being fused with the second layer, third layer, fourth layer with the help of a binder. So there is actually no binder here. So here your raw material is this which you have made, and then from a maybe a head-like thing, okay, or in a pressure-assisted syringe, as we just saw. I'll show you another video of how through the pressure-assisted syringe the material is being deposited layer upon layer, and the object is created.
Sir, so
जी.
यहाँ पे binder का use नहीं करा है.
इसमें यूज नहीं किया. Yes.
इसमें से pills बन सकते हैं, tablets.
इसमें you can actually make the shell of the tablet. So this is a 3D printer in which we are using thermoplastics. जो आपने products देखे जो आपको मैंने circulate किए थे. So that is thermoplastics. So every 3D printer hardware is different, and you can't have same 3D printer doing the same work for others. So the hardware is different.
So it is for model.
This is just for a demo for a model, because a bio 3D printer has to have a very sophisticated environment. It cannot work in this. Everybody needs to be sanitized, and there has to be germ-free, bacteria-free, isolated. Exactly. I'll show you another video where we have an autoclave in which the 3D printer is installed, and then which you are using it. So all that thing is not possible here. So this is just a demo thing that yes, you can do a lot with the same machine and prove it कि हाँ, अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको गाड़ी ओन करना है तभी आपको गाड़ी चलानी आती है, right? You can learn it on any driving license, Yeah. We can sit down now and continue with the session. Yeah, so I think very interesting questions, and let me start the second one. Yes, ma'am. Okay, yeah. So this is especially for our online friends who are joining remotely. What we were doing is that we had demonstrated on the 3D printer. So the 3D printer is right there in front of you. And what this is a fused deposition modeling based 3D printer. So we are using thermoplastics in this case, purely as a demo, as a demonstration. The possibility, the effectiveness that actually you can use this in your research. You can use this to create products. And some of the products I will discuss later on, what we have done and created. But yeah, the basic technology that remains the same. And so on the bed, we made actually 2 skulls just before we took a break. And now it is making another product. The length and the breadth are there, and the height goes down, so that where it is making them, if you can see, I think it's a bit, yeah. So where you can see there, it is actually depositing material on the bed and creating layer by layer the product or the part, whatever we want to make. And it will take about half an hour and it'll create something. I'll also share a video now, as many of our students have had this, in that how do we fuse the powder together. So there is a fabrics video. I'll just share that. So this video is very interesting and of course very inspiring. I'm sure even here at Sundardeep, we can create something of this sort, which will be very, very interesting, and for our students.
everyone. I'm Fabrizio. I'm from Italy, and I'm doing a PhD at UCL School of Pharmacy in London. I'm working on 3D printing in collaboration with fabrics, and during my project, I'm basically printing formulations using 3D printing. We are actually the first group in the world to investigate selective laser sintering to make medicine.
My name is Professor Simon Gatesford. I work at UCL and I'm head of Pharmaceuticals, and I also director and co-founder of Fabrics. We originally looked at 3D printing as a research tool, and then we decided there was a commercial opportunity. So we set up Fabrics as a spin-out from the university, and its specific aim is to focus and develop on 3D printing for pharmaceutical dosage forms.
We were very interested in selective laser sintering.
So this is basically your formulation, okay? This is basically the powder where your API is there. This is what you actually research, and you say that, okay, this is what I want from the pill to be made. So this is the raw ingredient which is there.
Yes, we don't need to use a liquid as a binder. We just use a powder and the laser. And the precision of the laser is something we were looking for.
So one of our research directors found Syntratec as a manufacturer of SLS systems, and it was a system that we hadn't been able to purchase before because the cost was very high. But because you supply a system which can be kit built, it was a very affordable system. So it was an opportunity to explore a technology we couldn't use before.
We bought our first Syntratec kit, and then we tried to print the first tablets using paracetamol, and we managed to print them. So we dissolved those tablets, we checked the amount of drug inside, and surprisingly, we realized there was no drug degradation. The drug was still there, and it was a very, very happy moment. At 3D printing, we can personalize medicine. We can make tablets with unconventional 3D structures, and we can make tablets with different releases profile just by changing the printing parameters. The big advantage of the Syntratec kit is actually we can customize the printing parameters. We can choose the ideal temperature and the ideal laser speed. We can start from 1 millimeter per second up to 1000 millimeter per second. And in that big range, we can actually make very, very different products with different strengths, which dissolve at different times, just by changing the laser speed.
You can see how fast in a few seconds itself, the tablets were dissolved. All right. Any questions, any doubts at this point in time? Yes, ma'am.
Can we prepare the accurate dose? Like 10 mg बना रहे तो 10 mg
Yes, yes.
Is there any variation?
नो सो जो आपका डिजाइन है, जो आपका कैड बनेगा, जो आपका मॉडल बनेगा, जहाँ पे आपने देखा वो अपने उसको सिंटर कर रहे थे जो 3D प्रिंटर में, तो आपका वो एग्जैक्ट डोजेज ही रहेगा उसके अंदर जो उन्होंने बनाया है. तो जो भी उन्होंने कैप्सूल बनाई है इस समय, वो एग्जैक्ट उसी डोजेज की बनाई है कि मेरे को इस साइज में इतने ही ग्राम की चाहिए, मिलीग्राम की, सॉरी, and nothing more, nothing less. So all these products that you see that he's make these, it is dependent on the design. So it's not a random design which is there. So it is absolutely specific and precise. Otherwise, one will lose the objective. कि कोई आपकी अगर 11 mg की आ रही है. So that's why this machine Syntratec is very, very precise. This SLS technology, of course, is very expensive, but it is very, very precise कि आपका exact जो आपको चाहिए formulation वो ही बन के आ रहा है. Yeah.
Infinite number of doses, so we can tailor a dose to a patient. We can put more than one active into a particular dosage form, and so to be able to formulate drugs for very small numbers of patient groups is going to allow us to offer medication for people with rare or poorly studied diseases. And I think that is fundamentally going to change the way that the pharmaceutical industry has to formulate drugs.
I see a very big potential on this technology, and I'm sure in the future this technology will play a major role in the pharmaceutical industry.
Right. So I think that answers a lot of your questions with regards to what the other technology also does. And now, of course, I'll share another video after a while on the pressure assisted micro syringe. Yes, please go ahead. Ji. Not necessary, because of course, one is that this is your own personal formulation. So as I mentioned, this is something which is customized and personalized drug delivery system. So we are not talking about mass manufacturing. Yeah. So if you have to go for a mass production, absolutely fine. I mean, then the conventional system of manufacturing by Merck and other pharmaceutical companies up jo hai, right? So that will continue. But here, this is a niche offering and a niche product which is there. Of course, जब आप mass manufacturing में जाएंगे तब आप customization and personalization नहीं कर पाएंगे. जो आपकी localized area की needs हैं, उसको आप नहीं cater कर पाएंगे. Then you are catering of maybe the whole of India, for example. Okay, it's not that as if something has happened in Ghaziabad, okay, and in certain pocket of Ghaziabad, and you need to address that. Okay, you need to maybe there is a localized outbreak of certain disease, just a localized. So you don't need to take the geographic conditions of, say, Kerala or Trivandrum, right? It is something that, okay, this is a hot, humid part. Generally, the BMI, the demographics, are this, and we need to cater to that. Or you are having, certain specific blood group types who are facing certain challenges. So we're just addressing that. So it's just a specific localized application that you are catering to, for example. See, generally, if I talked about the safety issues will remain the same. They need to pass that. जैसे FDA ने भी जो है Spritem को approve किया, so they took a little more of time to do that because it was new for them. So there are certain change in the production and process parameters that need to be certainly adhered to. But yes, the thing has to be safe for human consumption, undoubtedly. But beyond that, I mean, you have the parameters, you have the process outlined, it will be adjusted, and regulatory framework has to be in place for it to pass. So that goes without. Indian pharmacology has to approve it. They have to certify the product safe for human consumption and fit for their needs. So certain change at the regulatory level will be, of course, required. Of course, that for education, through education, that will come. But yes, the broad that it has to pass the standards. To make bottles. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Even in this 3D printer, you can do that. Hanji, not an issue. All right. So coming to the next part of our. Okay, so this is a question that was asked earlier. With regard to the dissemination, that quickly dissolving. So this is, on the other hand, an electronic pill which actually is there, which can retain in your stomach for about a month and slowly release the drug in certain manners, in certain phases. So it's a delayed drug mechanism. Okay, so let me just go and explain to you. So in the second bit, we're talking about developmental challenges. Again, I mean, you set the context very well, right, in terms of asking these questions. but yeah, but the basic, I mean, it will be answered, I hope, suppose if I have not done so, that what are the developmental challenges that we are facing to develop these kind of, pharma products. Again, I mean, we're basically talking about the democratization of medicine. So it's not as if that, this knowledge is in a handful of people only, or wo West se sari formulations आएंगी, and there is no, other kind of drug development that we can do here. It's not like that. I mean, even at Sundardeep, you can do the drug development. You can take out a product which is completely unique and new. And this is something, by this very forward-looking author called Eric Topol, in which the book says the patient will see you now. So the doctor is no longer there as such, but it's the guidance and it's the knowledge of the patient which is taking more centerfold, which is for the first time, the patient is now the hero rather than, just being the doctor. Okay. And we have this, smart gadgets also, which are coming. So this is a product called Beto, which actually my friend made, and it was a startup. And of course, they've got funding and they're doing, a huge amount of business. Sugar monitoring remotely, right? So things like these, using AI, using certain hardwares. अब आपको जैसा ये शुगर टेस्ट करने के लिए डॉक्टर के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपके पास वो मीटर है, आपने उसको अपने मोबाइल में लगाया और वो टेस्ट हो गया. So it's as simple, straightforward as that. So that's the kind of, things which are coming up. And how many of you have heard of telomeres and telomerase? So they are actually, telomeres are the ends of the DNA. Everyone has them. So, and telomerase is the enzyme. So with the wear and tear of these two, our life expectancy is determined. So research is happening that how you can actually, reverse your aging process and increase your lifespan, live longer, more younger, more youthful, okay, with the change in telomeres and telomerase. So by about, 20 odd years, they say that death might become optional. You might choose not to die because of change in technology, reversal of telomeres and telomerase. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit slow for some reason today. So a bit of SWOT analysis of, what's happening in this industry of pharma 3D printing. Of course, as I just mentioned to you, अभी काफी नया है, नए products इजाद हो रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ रहा है, right? And it's all open source. So whatever is being developed, it's there in, public domain, because people also need validation of the technologies. There's a very high degree of customization which is being done, which can be done. And of course, we've talked about space and storage things. And it's of course easy to modify. कि आप आसानी से एक से दूसरे चीज बना सकते हैं. The weaknesses, of course, low demand, low awareness also at the same time. It's much more expensive because technology ज़्यादा adopt होती है, तब उसका पैसा, उसका cost कम होता है. And about 2-3 years, you'll see that it is being it gets matured. Risk level currently is high because of these limitations, okay, and lesser use cases. Yeah, so the opportunities are immense, as I mentioned to you. I'm sure very soon we will also have, here that, some pharma company has come out of Sundardeep and, creating great amount of money, business value addition to the masses. That's always a first mover advantage, which is there. And with the first mover advantage comes that आपके margins are always higher. Okay. You have more scalable APIs at the moment. And of course, there's a lot of scope for a 3D entrepreneurship. But remember, it's important that, there's a lot of openness. So there is a lot of cheating which could happen. There's a lot of rogue pills which could, and which is harmful for the human. So be on the right side of law. That is most important. Of course, like COVID-19, it's a man-made disaster that people have made. So this also has the potential. क्योंकि मैं हमेशा ये समझता हूँ कि साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के हमेशा दो पहलू रहते हैं. एक अच्छा पहलू होता है, एक खराब पहलू रहता है. तो वही गाड़ी हमको यहाँ से हरिद्वार भी ले जाती है और वही गाड़ी किसी को मौत के घाट भी उतार देती है. So then that's the difference between, but yeah, there are a lot of IPR issues, intellectual property rights, because it's a gray area. One cannot say with certainty what is one's own. And yeah, if you want to take a trademark, take a patent, yes, you should do it, but not. So you should be careful that you're not impinging on somebody else's patents and somebody else's right also. And of course, higher the quality, always better is it. But yeah, people, tend to make a fast buck and give us low quality. So we also work with a lot of startups in this ecosystem. So this is where 3D printing comes in. When a technology is new, when you have so much of opportunities, so much of potential, so much of strengths, that you have limited budgets. So what to do? Well, use 3D printing as a prototype, as a step in the ecosystem that aapne apna product marketable bana diya. Your go-to market is faster. So this is how you scale up and cost effectively reach. So what's happening? Again, this was talked some while back that, the environment needs to be as such where it is safe to use 3D printing and there is no bacteria, no germs, and it is completely sanitized and clean. We have tailor-made treatments. So this is the same pharmacy which is being used on humans or on animals. Okay, it's the same formulations. So it's basically we have the devices as well as the treatments which are actually tailor-made. Pills which were being made, technology was the same for centuries, but now their process is changing. Now their system of manufacturing is changing to suit a lot of customization in terms of DNAs, as we've mentioned, where we don't need to make in larger quantities but maybe small batches. Okay, so your flexibility is being built into the system, so there is lesser rigidity, there is more room where you can stretch and you can achieve your potential. So ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कोई बड़ी कंपनी में जाएंगे, बड़े R&D हेड बनेंगे, तभी आप जो है कुछ इजाद कर सकते हैं, तभी आप कुछ इन्वेंट कर सकते हैं. You can do it now also. You can write your own paper at this age, at this level also. With the help of this technology, I mean, it leapfrogs you from where you are. अभी ये नहीं हम कह सकते कि भाई इंडिया में 95 में मोबाइल फोन आया, उससे 80s में आ गया था अमेरिका में, तो अभी जो समय की टेक्नोलॉजी थी हमको वही लेके आनी है. नो, I mean, if a country can get 5G, so they leapfrog. All right, it's not that any country in Africa also has to have first 2G, then 3G, then 5G. They can, if they don't have a 2G, 3G, they can straight away get a 5G also. So that it's like that. Okay, so the basic question comes in that why we want to use 3D printing in pharma. अभी इतनी देर से हम 1.5 घंटे से यही बोले जा रहे हैं भाई 3D printing pharma, but why? Okay, so that the answer is again what we already deliberated in the past, that we are moving closer to the patient. Okay, our drug deliveries are becoming much more efficient. Okay, so so these micro needles, for example, we made for a professor in NIT there. Again, it was his research project कि painless drug delivery होनी चाहिए. तो अभी मच्छर काटता है तो हमें जो है इतना दर्द नहीं होता, परंतु एक सुई हमें लगती है उतना दर्द होता है और वो मच्छर उससे खून भी निकाल लेता है बाहर, और हमारी जो सुई जो है वो खून निकालती तभी भी हमको दर्द होता है. So having multiple needles like a patch going onto our body and then taking maybe the blood out as the case may be, or injecting some fluid if required. So those kind of research is happening. Okay, so it's not as if one size fits all. So that's very clear. I think that's been the core discussion of our talk also, that it's all about customized and personalized delivery systems. Again, this is kind of summing up. So one pill treating multiple ailments. So be it, it's like a polypill. So be it, metformin, aspirin, statin, glucomet. So if a person is having diabetes, he typically ends up taking a couple of pills. And if he's having high BP, then also he's taking a few pills. So all those pills, all those ailments, and you have a poly pill, a magic pill, which again currently is being used for these kind of treatments. So again, yeah, so complex drug profiles made easy, targeted drug delivery systems to certain body tissues, to certain body parts, okay, and seeing that their efficacy is more and the side effects are less. So okay, if you have the same pill, कोई antibiotic आप दे रहे हैं, तो उसमें आपने जो है, you've actually put an antacid also, for instance. You don't need to take an antacid along with an antibiotic. आपने एक pill लिया जिसमें दोनों formulations डले हुए हैं. Okay, so yeah, so this oral fast disintegration system is again pill specific. It's not that sari pills jaldi disintegrate kar jate hain, kai der se bhi karte hain. And depending on the fluidity, depending on the body acidity, alkalinity, you can make pills. Okay, yeah, so this is important, the time controlled drug delivery, which is actually released, firstly, you take in the drug, then there is the first layer which collapses, then the second layer, then the third layer, and the so on and so forth. So each layer, when it collapses, it releases a certain drug. So that is the time delay release mechanism, which you can actually inbuilt into a drug. Then having drug delivery systems based on the circadian rhythm of the body, like your pulse, your blood pressure, heartbeat, okay, which can be, great for treating cardiovascular, diseases. Okay. And then, yeah, we've talked about the multi-phase treatments and countering of the side effects. And then, having implantable drug delivery systems, such as patients who are on maybe steroids for temporary purpose, or a diabetic who has to take insulin at regular intervals. So उसने एक दवाई ले ली, जो maybe it lasts him 2 to 3 days, depending on the efficacy and the design of the pill. So this is again take you back on the micro needles for the drug delivery system. There are certain parameters like height, aspect, patch, needle shape, interneedle spacing, and dependent on them is the the efficacy that one wants, and the kind of system, maybe the kind of strength, the cells to be targeted, the drug loading, etc. US FDA, of course, regulations are very, very strong, and they have a lot of system-based thing. That's, I think, the benchmark for the whole world. And it is, the labeling, the control, those things are very, very important to be seen from a regulatory perspective also. So drug deliveries, which are, poorly soluble, and challenges such as, reducing of pain, improving the ingestion, all these need to be taken into consideration. Okay. Okay, so this is now something which I really want you to understand and leave you with, that what could be, an adverse impact due to a poor design of drug efficiency. There could be product liability implications, कि किसने गलती करी, किसकी वजह से हुआ, whether it is the whether it is the designer of the medicine, whether it is the software developer, the hardware developer, or the material supplier. So all those product liability implications, because अगर कोई कुछ disaster होता है, तो वहीं उस डिजास्टर से जो पीछे की चेन होती है वो खींची जाती है कि भाई कहाँ पे क्या गलती हुई जिस वजह से this epidemic, for example, happened. Okay, so we have to have the right selection of adhesives, binders, excipients, etc. The research has to go in a lot to the test various pharmacotechnical properties, such as the disintegration time, the angle, the uniform, any other friability issues. जैसे मैम ने weight के बारे में बात करी, dosage के बारे में बात करी कि वो dosage सही होना चाहिए, गलत नहीं. Okay, and then having very clear blueprints and systems in place, so that is no counterfeits are there. There is a complete insurance cover. At times insurance nahi bhi mil pati hai because it's a new nascent upcoming field. And there was this huge, I think about 100+ people died in this in New England Compounding Center, where there was, it was absolutely sealed, and it was meningitis which spread because of that contamination. And so this is to be very much taken care of. In India, if you see, a lot of 3D printing, of course, is happening and continues to happen. The basic industries, that we are talking about now, of course, I'm shifting from 3D from pharma. It's medical, aerospace. Again, the Hawaii medical, because a lot of parts, even implants, are being made here. And of course, it's growing in a big way. And there is a lot of make in India potential here. And let me just stop here and show you how my one last, which was left. I'll just show you that. Okay, stop this and go ahead. Okay, just a minute. So this is the development of the implants, external organs, and the gel which is being used to make products.
To anyone, meaning it could be brought into a small factory. So what would you build if you could create anything? Have a look.
So I think that's voice is not so clear. So this is the pressure assisted micro syringe, and in a petri dish they are making organs, they are making external organs, and of course they will show. So it's a gel which is used to create various body tissues. So we take internal body, mix it with the binder, mix it with bio ink basically, and we create these external organs. So this is, of course, again in the US back there. So this is the pressure assisted micro syringe. That's the gel being added layer upon layer. Yeah, nose, ears, fingers. And that's the lab. So the same doctor had actually made a liver also, and he's given a TED talk for that. His name is Dr. Attila. So somebody who's lost a limb in an accident or war, they have the ability to actually make a limb for themselves from their own body tissues and cells. This is the TED talk which this doctor gave. On the kidney that he made. So again, it all depends on what's your need, what's the application that you are wanting to do, and you can do anything that you want to do. So that's the key part. Your basic knowledge of technology should be there. Okay, from current slide. Right. So this is some of our examples that we've done over the last few years of aligning industry and academia, teaching them. Yeah, so this was interesting. So we also went ahead during the COVID-19 to create ventilator parts. So this is a 4-way ventilator. This is again a ventilator part. This is a 2-way ventilator. So 2 people could be given oxygen. On then this is again test cover kits. Somebody decided they wanted to make, so we made it during 3D printer. Handle just they are utilized properly. And yeah, that's the cell structure of the coronavirus. And yeah, so this was interesting case study that I can share with you. ये इटली में दो नौजवान लोग who actually made ventilator respirator valves for the ventilator. So they had 3D printer. जो hospital में लोग treat हो रहे थे, वो जो company उनको supply कर रही थी, so they went out of the ventilator parts. So they created it for the hospital and they gave it to them. And of course, you know, that's how people, more and more people could have been saved. So this is, you know, 2 such case studies I wanted to share. And of course, when you are adopting 3D printing, you can choose whichever industry that you want to go to. And because it has a broad spectrum application across industries, in addition to the pharma. And well, yeah, so I just like to put these slides in the end so that, you know, you have a basic broad idea of, you know, how we can make use of it, how we can, you know, use it in other technologies, you know, maybe in civil, defense, construction, food security, etc. Yeah, so this is yeah, something that we do. We undertake trainings, we do workshops. Of course, we sell equipments also, and we promote democratization of design. So this, I'm actually at the end of my presentation. Yeah, so that's the book that I actually wrote, which was discussed before, which made me the first Asian author. I will leave a copy for you for your library. Some of the past events that we've been there, and it's always our mission to educate, you know, computer literate customers, people in practical 3D education, and make 3D printing technology a no-brainer so that everybody can understand it, disseminate information in simple language. So that's me, and that's my father. We, you know, come from a technical background, and we run this company. This is some of the references again I put there. Yeah, so that's more or less the end of it. If you have any questions, please, yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. हाँ जी, हाँ जी, नहीं, आप क्यों थ्रेट दे रहे हैं? ये आपका यूनिक वो है। अभी मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मैं दवाई खाने से I mean परहेज करता हूँ. I don't like to take medicines. So I have a doctor, friend of mine, who treats me, and I get my treatment done through magnets. Okay, so I had inflammation here last week. If you had met me last week, I was barely able to speak or eat anything. So मेरे को एक बड़ा फुंसी सा हो गया था यहाँ पे. So अगर मैं एलोपैथिक डॉक्टर के पास जाता तो वो चीरा लगाता उसका और वो सारा पस वस निकालता. Right? So through magnets, through a different system of alternative medicine, he treated me. And there is this concept of yin yang, which gets imbalanced, and, you know, more energy is put into one place where it should not, and the energies should be balanced. There should be a balance of yin and yang. Okay, so that's another thing this is off the cuff, I'm telling you. So that's how he treated me. So it's totally your choice as a human, as an individual, how you want to get treated. Of course, now the challenge is that when you want to treat somebody else, okay, that treatment should be approved. And the other person should be given this knowledge, and that, hey, whatever I'm treating you, it is based on my knowledge and trust. So किसी को कोई किसी से चीज से खतरा नहीं है, as long as you believe in it, as long as you're doing the right thing and you're answerable for that at the end of it. Okay, but if you, I mean, you can't treat the other person as a guinea pig. That is the challenge. Okay, it's like saying कि, you know, सदियों से इंसान एक जगह से दूसरे जगह बुलक कार्ट पे, बैलगाड़ी पे, घोड़ी गाड़ी से जा रहा है. अब ये 20th सेंचुरी में क्या इन्वेंशन आ गया कि, you know, गाड़ी से चला के आप कहीं भी चले जाएं. Why should there be an internal combustion engine? What will happen to those people? So they need to upgrade themselves. That knowledge they need to uptake themselves, है ना? Otherwise तो हम वही सड़कों पे oil lamps ही जल रहे होते हैं 100 साल पहले जैसे जल रहे थे. Street lights नहीं होती ना. वो पेजर जो था वो चलता रहता. मोबाइल फोन क्यों आया? Because pager got outdated. SMS उसी के अंदर आ गया. So this is technology. You need to keep updating and upgrading yourself. So the people who are old practitioners, they need to upskill. They need to upgrade themselves. Yeah, good question. I mean, this was like, maybe 30, 40 years ago, किसी ने BA या MA की डिग्री ली और जिंदगी भर उनको नौकरी गारंटीड थी कि वो वही काम करते रहेंगे, उनको पैसा आता रहेगा. वैसा नहीं है. You need to upgrade yourself. अभी आप एक फोन लेते हैं तो ऐसा तो नहीं होता कि वो 10 साल आप वही फोन चलाते रहते हैं. पर जब वो पहले हमारा वो ऐसे डायलिंग वाला फोन था, वो 10 साल 15 साल वही चलता रहता था. राइट? अभी आपको फोन अपग्रेड करना पड़ जाता है हर 2-3 साल में. तो इट्स लाइक दैट, आप जैसे उसको अपग्रेड करते हैं वैसे आपको अपना नॉलेज अपग्रेड भी करना पड़ेगा. Yeah, good question. I like it. Okay, so any other question? No. All right. So it's about 3:30 right now, right? Yeah. So let's do a bit of CAD designing, and I just want you to kind of open this 3dc.io. Okay, it's called 3dc.io. There is. I'll just put it in the chat also for the online participants. So it's a very basic entry level design software. Nothing hard or complicated. Everybody can do it. Just use on your mobiles. You can just type in 3dc.io. ये I think ऊपर भी आ रहा है यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ. You can just copy it. I hope you guys are not bored. You guys are enjoying. Yeah. Thank you. So everybody just raise your hands. Let's do a bit of handshake like that. The fingers shake like that. Can you just do that quickly? Quickly. Everybody, come on. Let's just do that. Okay. Let's see your attentiveness now. Okay. Put your hand on your chin. Put your hand on your chin. I said chin. Okay, good. All right. So let's start. Okay, so let's do the start designing. So this is computer aided design. It's a very basic entry level software. इससे ज़्यादा 10 times, 100 times complex softwares होते हैं, but we don't want to go into that. We just want to understand कि कैसे हम CAD कर सकते हैं, because CAD design forms the basic basis of 3D printing. So that's the if you know it, you can do it. So आपके पास ये शायद option आएगा. So you can just say continue with an account. If you want to create an account, it's totally your choice. Or you can just say continue with an account. Okay. So this screen would be a little lower. You will not be able to see much because वो नीचे से कट रहा है. And there are some things. So just focus on this screen here. Okay. And how this works is this is our graph. Okay. This is our graph. You can, just move around it. आप नीचे, ऊपर, दाएं, बाएं, सब जगह से देख सकते हैं. So this is important. The first basic, of 3D designing is that you should be able to see it from all 360 degrees, all sides, top, bottom, left, right. Okay. And this is what we call an isometric view. Okay. That you can see 3 faces, the left one, the top one, and the front one. So see as much as you can, the model, the product, because it's a 3D print. We have to see it from all sides. अभी for example if I'm designing the mic, I need to see it from all sides कि कैसे लगेगा. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं एक केवल front view ही ले सकता हूँ. So in normal 2D designing, if you've done paintbrush and all that, you see just the front part. You don't see the पीछे का part. So this is important. The first a lesson in 3D printing. So this software is very easy, very simple. This is like joining blocks and making a product. So this kind of designing where you see a block, it will be always that we've had Lego blocks, we've had wooden blocks जो हम अपने बच्चों को देते हैं खेलने के लिए. So it's like that. So this table also in front of you, it's like a cuboid, which is kind of hollow in the middle. It's got rectangular legs on the sides, and then of course there is a counter which is rectangular, niche rectangular. So it's various blocks which have been added together, and the table has been made. And then you see a lot of objects which will be circular, rectangular, like that. So this is it's always the object is placed on the graph, and you move it front, back. You can move it top, down. So these are the basic controls that I'm just telling you, and sideways, left, right. All right. So this is the control which you see here. Okay. On the bottom right. Then we have this option here, which I click, and this arrows get converted into hammers. So this is for, kind of elongating it. From a cube, we've made it into a cuboid. I've elongated it sideways. आप ऊपर चाहे कर सकते हैं elongate. इसको आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं. So right now I'm not paying attention to the dimensions. The dimensions are random. Okay. Of course they are changing as I'm changing. You can see it's become 150, 160. So but we're not paying attention to the dimensions. More on understanding on how to modify, how to move the shape. Okay. Right now. And of course, the last one is with regards to rotations. कि हम इसको घुमा कैसे सकते हैं, कहाँ किस एंगल पे घुमा सकते हैं. तो आप जैसे मर्जी चाहें उसको घुमा सकते हैं. ये you are your own creator, you are your own designer. You can rotate it any way which you wish to do that. Okay, try and maintain the object onto the graph. कि आपका जो object है वो graph के ऊपर ही रहे. So उसको आप इसको इस तरह से हिला डुला सकते हैं. And of course you can move the graph. You can see it whether it is uniform from all sides or not. So we've got the movements, the elongation, उसको छोटा बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा करना, and then we have the rotations, the three things that we've done. Okay, now if you want to add another object to it, okay, so this is torus, pyramid, triprism, prism, cube, another cube you want to add, sphere. So कुछ भी चाहो आप ये चार चीजें 4 + 4 8, sorry, you can add all these together. So let's say if you want to add a pyramid, तो ये मैं pyramid, चलो इसको मैं कहता हूँ, कोशिश करता हूँ मैं ऊपर इसको लगाने की. Let us try and rotate, get it into a, okay, not this way, I should rotate it kind of this way, and let me try to elongate it. Okay, so you just kind of play around with it and see what best fit you want to. So just try and make the pyramid more useful for you, right? So now this is attached to here. Again, if I want to move it around, I'll just kind of take it again up and try again rotating it on this axis so that we kind of try and make a good fit of it. So इसको नीचे में, तो आप जब उसको deselect कर देंगे, so you will be able to rotate this one. So this is the basic idea, that I want to now play around with this one and not with that one. So this is how you are basically trying to move around, play around, and see how it can be fitted, snug fit on the top, for example. And then of course you can join them together and you have an object. So like this, you can create, unique shapes, unique things. And the best part is that, of course, you can use these 8 shapes. So this is organic designing, right? कि आपने basic shape से कुछ भी बनाया आपके सामने. अभी मैं चाहता हूँ कि inorganic form of designing करूँ मैं. So this is the draw option, in which, I can say that, okay, let me just draw something maybe like S,
So let it be anything random. I'm just trying to make something like an amoeba shape or whatever. Of course, I'm not so good at drawing, but you can see. And then we just insert it. So this is a random shape that I made. And there we go. So this is now inorganic form of designing. So isko bada karte hain. And it could be any shape, any which way that you want. And you'll be amazed by the results which come in कि आप किस तरह से unique चीजें बना पाते हैं. Okay, yeah. So let us just get this out and try and put it here. All right. So this is how we can do, and then of course we can change colors. I can put any shade, any color that I want. So this is the color wheel. There is a color swath up. You have 16 million colors to choose from. Kuch bhi aap laga sakte hain. Okay, coming back from here, yeah, I can insert. I can put Saras, for example. Okay, so I can put my name there. So names are quite interesting at times. Right, you can again decide which way you want it to be. You can give it an angle, and of course you can twist it any which way that you want. So this is our design bits that we are kind of working, and then you can give it a plane. Ye sara ka sara aapne ek plane pe dal diya niche. All right, if you don't want the plane, you can of course always remove it. There is an option of delete. I'll just come to it. Yeah, this is color and this is tools. Okay, so you can delete the plane, for example. You can do undo, redo. आप एक चीज को subtract कर सकते हो दूसरे के साथ. You can put up a clone also. So let's see the clone bit. Okay, so clone आपने एक तरह से उसको duplicate कर दिया. So okay, so this is just duplicated this. So like this, I mean, there are loads of options which you can utilize. So anybody who's made something so far? Anybody would like to share something that they've made? You can just show your mobile. You can just put it up if the creative one is in you. कुछ बनाया किसी ने कुछ? Okay, don't worry, that's okay. And then yeah, I'll just take you to the end. We have a menu जिसमें आप login कर सकते हैं. I mean, if you're registered, it will show up. जो previous files हैं वो आपकी आ जाएंगी. Most importantly, I mean, you can of course take a screenshot, and you can see this now. That export.stl for 3D printing, right? So आपने कुछ भी जो बनाया है वो आप 3D print कर सकते हैं. So that's your STL file which gets made here. So this is that's the bottom line. It's a CAD software which you can use it to make anything. And then all measurements in 3D printing, we prefer it to be in millimeters, mm. Okay, so that is important, that we make it in all millimeters and not in any other, because the 3D printer understands millimeters more. Then yeah, support and all is very standard. Okay, and yeah, so that's more of any questions on this software? Any doubts? No? Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, so no doubts, no questions. Great. Yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, I think the parts are there, and I can present to ma'am the book for the your library.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable information regarding 3D printing. Now it's time for some refreshments. Thank you everyone for joining us for the session, technical session.
Now it's time for certificate distribution of attendees. The name is Vishal Singh, Lakshmi Kumari, Priya Tiotia, Ravi Kumar, Siksha Kumari, Suraj Tiwari. If anyone is there related to these certificates name, please collect the certificate. विशेष वर्मा, गुड़िया कुमारी, पुनीत कुमार, हिमांशु शर्मा, अंजलि सिंह, आमिर खान, पूर्ति, आयुष चौधरी, क्या लिख रहा है? आद्रान, आमिर खान, वेट, नीचे दबा दिया क्या?
अदनान अली, अभिषेक शर्मा, देवल, दीपक, दीक्षा गुप्ता, इलाक्षी सिंह, फैजल खान, हिमांशु सिंह, केशव पुंडीर, कुणाल, मोहम्मद जुनैद, मोहसिन, शुभम गौतम, सोनाली नागर, शिवम भारद्वाज, सृष्टि कुमारी, तनु शर्मा, उन्नति, यशिका सैनी, जोया रशद, आमिर खान, डॉक्टर अरुण कुमार, आकांक्षा पांडे, आर्यन रोहेला, आशीष राय, भूमिका त्यागी, ध्रुव कुमार, दीपांशी शर्मा, गौरव पांडे, जतिन कुमार सेनगर, मंतशा, कन्हैया कुमार, कोमल शर्मा, कल्पना सिंह, हर्षित यादव, ईशा कसाना, ईशा, कुशल पाल चौधरी, कोमल सिंह, मोहम्मद मुजम्मिल आलम, मनोज कुमार, नितिन शर्मा, रजनीश, शिवानी कुमारी, शिवम, शिवम गुप्ता, साकिब चौधरी, सूरज कुमार झा, शिवम कुमार, सोनम सिंह, सागर सिंह, शिवा कुमार, साक्षी, तनु गर्ग, तनुजा सिंह, विदित कुमार चतुर्वेदी, वंदना पाल एंड वीरेश, मुस्कान, विजय कुमार शर्मा, नेहा मौर्य, दीक्षा, विजय कुमार शर्मा, नेहा मौर्य, दीक्षा सिंह एंड विशाल चौधरी. Participants, please assemble for a group photograph.
Hello. Hello. First of all, a big round of applause for Avikshi Saras sir for this knowledgeable session and the a lot for 2 hours non-stop. You have spoken it was quite knowledgeable. And thank you, Dinesh sir, for sparing so much of time for judging and evaluating our student poster. Thank you so much. Now for group photograph. First students from other than SDPC, please join for group photograph. Aye, sir, please. Thank you.